Welcome into your Mike's Morning After. Adrian Denny is still doing the pregame show somewhere behind me here in our Jazz Mammoth joint radio studio. 4-3 loss in regulation for Utah tonight. This is a disappointing one. This one hurts. Utah played well in the first, but was outscored 2-0. Montreal gets a power play goal, and they make the most of their opportunities, which we say a lot about this Montreal team. Utah plays well in the first. They're down 2-0. They continue playing well in the second, and they get the lead. And it's 3-2. So now you put 40 pretty good minutes together. We heard from Kyler Yamamoto, and they had a good chat after the first intermission, or after the first period, it sounded like. So I say they had a good first period. I think the team had some things they wanted to clean up. But you felt fine. Like, Utah was down 2-0. Didn't even feel like that. Utah takes a 3-2 lead with 3 quick goals in the second. And it feels like, yes, this is the game we're expecting. Like, this is what the score should be right now. And then just that quick burst from Montreal was all it took. And the Canadiens are not known as being a great defensive team. Their defensive numbers are not good this year. Allowed the 6 most goals coming in, but they forced Utah to the outside, and the Mammoth couldn't get to any loose pucks in front of Dobish when there were broken plays in the third period. And I thought this was another instance where the Mammoth became unraveled a little bit. And I think they unraveled a little bit after the power play goal from Suzuki, and after the missed call against where Schmidt got hooked. I thought that was a pretty bad missed call. And then quickly after, Montreal goes down and scores. And look, you're not going to have every call go your way. And I thought in the shifts after that is where Utah lost it. And you just saw kind of not crisp passes, and it felt like the focus had been lost a little bit. You saw what I would call execution errors. I didn't think watching it live it was as much the decision-making errors as it was execution errors. Not sending a pass tape to tape, not handling a puck cleanly, things like that. Things that you can't really coach. You just have to have good enough players that can do it, which Utah has those players. But it felt like there were some execution errors there after Utah went down 4-3, and the Mammoth just never had that big push until the third. There were some good chances, but it just wasn't enough. And look, you can look at the shots, you can look at the analytics, and I just looked at the game report from SportLogic, and it's Utah, every category. High danger chances off the rush, chances off the cycle, chances off turnovers, shots, slot driving plays, all that. Offensive zone possession time, it's all in favor of Utah, and yet Utah loses the game. And I think that's a lesson in analytics, but I think it's also a lesson about the Montreal Canadiens. And they are the opposite of the Carolina Hurricanes, who are going to be analytics darlings and shoot the puck a ton. And on paper, it looks like they won the game 1,000,000-0. Montreal is the opposite of that, where they're going to hold on to pucks and they don't need to shoot the puck and create those broken plays because their players are skilled enough to score on the controlled plays. The game-winning goal, Ivan Demidov, just kind of a harmless looking play. It's one-on-one with Marino. I thought Marino's gap was pretty good. He's trying to get stick on puck, and Demidov just makes a great play. That's just a great individual goal from a really talented player. That's God's gift, and that's one of those where you're like, it's a good play. So that's frustrating. That's frustrating because Utah played, I thought, more than well enough to win. And this goes back to Andre Turney's point. You can bring your A game in this league every night, and that does not guarantee you 2 points. And tonight, it didn't even guarantee Utah won. Good news. I'm 5 minutes into this, and I haven't even mentioned Sean Durzi. I think Sean Durzi looked really good. That activity from the blue line is going to be huge for Utah. Mammoth were already getting a lot of offense from their defensemen recently, but now with Sean Dursey back in the fold, that's only going to accelerate. And I thought he looked solid defensively in his return to the lineup, and I'm excited to see what number 50 continues to do. I'm expecting big things out of him, and I know he and the team are expecting big things as well. But that was a good sight to see. Is Dursey back in the lineup? That's a huge lift for Utah. So that's the big positive coming away from tonight. Disappointed that Utah kind of lost control a little bit there in the third period. But you also have to tip your cap to Montreal. That's a really skilled team, and they have some great players that have bought into Martin St. Louis' system and his coaching. And they can't say they didn't earn it tonight to start off their 3-game road trip. So Utah will have to regroup, and we'll head to Dallas coming up on Thanksgiving. We'll have a nice dinner in Dallas on Thanksgiving, and we'll get to work on a really good Stars team on Black Friday. We'll see you then.